looking at the top of the wand when you're balancing. Ta-da! You're looking at it. Dope tricks. Dope trick, dope trick. What up, Flow fam? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are learning the beginner's guide to Leviwand Balances. Oh my gosh, friends, I am so excited to teach you guys some balances today. I get questions about it a lot, and they're a little tricky, but you know, we're gonna work through it and we're gonna learn some things. By the end of this, you should be able to balance anything. Actually, honestly, you will be able to balance literally anything. So first off, what you're gonna be needing is a Leviwand, of course. And you also wanna make sure that your string and your ball handle go past the top of the wand. You wanna make sure that's long enough, because if it's too short, it's gonna be very difficult to do true balances, because then you'll just be using the string, and we don't cheat. We're not cheaters here. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, give it a like, leave me a comment, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you get notified when I post new content. And of course we have the wizards of the channel. And the wizards of the channel are Flow Toys, Astro Hoops, Matrix Fire Safety, and Fun and Motion Toys. Thanks, guys. Also, if you want to support my channel, you got two different options. You can head on over to my Patreon, where you can be involved in lots of things with my channel, or head over to luxluminous.com. I have tons of awesome leggings, and all of the money raised goes directly into funding this channel. All right, fam, so let's go ahead and jump into these balances. For the very first beginner balancing trick, we're gonna do a palm balance. So the first way we're gonna go ahead and start off with balances is we're just gonna balance it in our hands and not even go from Leviwand mode, because you wanna have your balances down before you're doing it from a trick into the balance. If that makes sense. That should make sense, right? So if you have a ball handle, make sure that you're always tucking your ball handle with your thumb here, so that way you have these, fingers to manipulate with. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the bottom of the Leviwand and we're gonna place it on our palm. So from here, what we're gonna do is we are going to zero in our eyeballs to the top of the wand. So when you're doing this, you wanna make sure that you are looking at the top of the wand, because if you look away, it's gonna fall off. So we have our ball handle tucked with our thumb. We're gonna place the bottom of the Leviwand on our fingers here, and we're gonna be staring at the top of the wand, and we're going to let it go. What you're gonna notice is that the wand is gonna wiggle, and you're gonna need to adjust your hand to make sure that you keep the balance going. That right there is the tricky part, the little micro adjustments that you have to do when you're balancing. That is gonna take some time, and you're gonna need to practice doing that over and over and over and over again. And what I want you to do is practice balancing the wand for as long as you can. So, just keep a timer, keep it going, and make sure when you're doing this that the string is loose. So we have slack. We got slack. You have to make sure that there's slack in the string and that it's a true balance, because a lot of the transition tricks to get into balances, you have to have your balances down. If you don't have it down, it's not gonna look right. So now that you have the Leviwand pretty well balanced, what you're gonna do is you're gonna drop the Leviwand down and back into Leviwand mode. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna move your hand real quick and then back into Leviwand mode. That's pretty dope, right? So, drill this, put the wand up there, keep your eyeballs on the top of the wand, drop the wand down, back into wand mode. The next part of this is going to be getting from wand mode into a hand balance. We're gonna go from regular Leviwand mode, just like this, and we're gonna go into a balance. So what I like to do is back and forth, kind of pendulum. So on the upswing, we're also going to shoot the Leviwand straight up. So you need to make sure that it's straight up and it's not coming out like, an angle or anything like that, because that's gonna be really important to get your balance very clean. So if you have a ball handle, you have to make sure that you're tucking it with your thumb as you go under. Wow, this is very sexual. All right, so we're gonna go back and forth. On the upswing, we're gonna put our hand under, and a lot of times you're gonna have to adjust for it, and it's gonna be all kind of wiggly like this. And ooh, we're almost losing it. Okay, kind of prepare for it to be super wiggly, and what you're gonna do is kind of adjust and make sure that it's like as straight as possible, and with as many little micro movements as humanly possible. But there's always gonna be micro movements, And as you learn how to do balances and you get better at it, your adjustments are gonna be even smaller, which is great. That's what you want. You don't wanna be like running around like, oh my God, my balance. So now what you're gonna do, I want you to practice those 3 things now all together. So from regular Leviwanding mode into the palm balance, drop the Leviwand down, back into Leviwand mode. I know it's a lot, You can do it though. And you're gonna look super sick doing it. So back and forth, we're gonna do it one more time. Up, whoa, there we go. Oh, it's getting away from me, okay. So now we have control, and it's very not wiggly, and you wanna make sure that the Leviwand is not wiggling hardly at all for when you actually drop it down, because if it's super wiggly and you drop it down, it is gonna be wonky, so you don't want that. So it's very, you wanna be as still as humanly possible for when you drop down back into wand mode. Cool, all right, so now that you have that balance down, what I now want you to do is practice moving the Leviwand from finger to finger, because this kind of control is gonna be extremely important, especially when you start getting into placement balancing. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what that is, and I want you to drill this. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and pop the wand up. Should be. All right, ooh, that's gonna make me. So I'm gonna let go of the ball handle actually, and I'm gonna practice on my thumb, finger, other finger, woo! And it's kind of like a fun game because you're also battling the ball handle as it's kind of wiggling around. So in order to make the ball handle stop moving, you have to be so still. You have to be so still, and as soon as that ball handle gets going, it's going, and your Leviwand's probably gonna be falling. But that's okay. Like, don't be discouraged when it does that. That just means that you have a little bit more work to do, and even I have issues with that still sometimes. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do that again. We're gonna palm balance, and keeping my eyes on the top of the wand, I'm moving it to my thumb, finger, other finger, back to thumb. So you're probably asking, Lux, why are the finger balances important? The reasoning for the finger balances is when you have your Leviwand and you're balancing and you want to do a placement balance. So if I want to go to shoulder, I have to have it on my thumb. So I'm going to move it to my shoulder. So with balances, pretty much a rule of thumb, if you could stick it out, you can balance on it. Take that how you like. So that's your beginner's guide to Leviwand balances. They're super fun, and it's a great thing to add to your Leviwanding. Makes you look extra magical. If you're new or lurking, welcome to the wand life. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like. And if you have any questions at all, always leave it in the comments down below and I'll help you out. Oh, that's great. See you all on the wand side.